It's day 29 of designing a Pokopia Cloud Island in 30 days. Yesterday, we did a whole bunch of stuff around the island, including connecting our rail lines. Almost. I ran out of iron right at the finish line, but we should have enough today to wrap up this project. In doing that, we will have a train station, a train line that wraps around the entire island. We can get to any town we need to go to that I've created throughout the series just by hopping on a minecart, and it is so nice. So I am going to wrap this up, but I also don't have stone on me. I think I actually have some at home, so not a big deal. It's okay. I actually have stone, I think. But while I run around and get this ready, I'll explain what we're actually doing today, the big thing we need to do here on day 29. Well, there's not much to explain. We need to create homes for Pokemon. Okay, good. Yeah, we have lots of stone in here. By the way, speaking of having lots of materials, any ideas what to do with a bunch of sticks and vines? Just in general, like when you end up with this problem, what do you do? How do you benefit from this? But yeah, we've spent the last 28 days building infrastructure for Pokemon cities and towns, but we haven't really done enough to house the Pokemon that we've collected. 103 Pokemon so far out of our goal of 150. Today, we're going to get those Pokemon feeling more comfortable. That'll probably get us to level 10 pretty quick, I imagine. And we're also going to try to hit that 150 Pokemon goal today as well. I will just say, at this stage, our goal of getting every mysterious slate feels pretty out of reach. I'll just be honest. If I was closer, I would probably be pushing a lot harder, and I'd be teasing we're gonna do it, but we've all seen the wall of slates. We know where this stands right now. We know how much time we have left, and there's too much work to do for me to sit here and realistically plan for finishing that wall. Not that I don't want to try. We could do a couple more missions with the dowsing machine, maybe one today and one tomorrow, but unless we get a big influx of slates in those two missions, we're still so far off. I just don't know how that goes without spending several hours on it. All right, there it is. The tracks are fully connected. We can now just do laps around this island. I could tie a string around the joystick of my Pro Controller, and I can just have my character loop around endlessly. While we're over here, let's feed Mosslax one of these pieces of bread so that if we do find any shimmering spots, they have a better chance of becoming mysterious slates. And today's a big day. Hopefully we have time to get that done. Ooh, we also never connected this path here. I was actually going to take this path around and up to that new area we created yesterday, the big temple. So, how's that gonna? I don't know if that's gonna work. I mean, look at the incline I'll have to make these roads connect. Ooh, yeah, that's a bit farther off than I thought. This is a really big hill. I'd have to dig a hole, like a tunnel, in it. So take this road, it would go through here, we'd start a tunnel into here, and that's just to create another loop, to nothing, to nowhere. I don't know, we may, I'll think about it for maybe tomorrow, because we'll have some stuff to do tomorrow. I might just put some cones at the end of the path there and signal to people that, hey, the road ends here. If you want to see more of the island, just stop walking and start riding on a train. But I don't want to get too distracted. So we need to start housing Pokemon, and we just take this, I think, one building at a time, one biome at a time. We already have a lot of awesome places for our Pokemon to live, so we're going to see how many of the Pokemon we can fit into these awesome places. Starting with one of these rooms here. I think the charcoal line, what are these Pokemon called? These guys, Carcoal and friends, can live in one of these units. And what's really cool about Carcoal and friends is that they also make clay, or make bricks from clay. And there's one Pokemon in particular we can room with them that could make a fully automated brick farm. So with Roly-Coly, Carcoal, and Colossal, we can add Trapinch to the mix. If we put 4 of them in a house together, Trapinch drops clay, and all 3 of these Pokemon have the burn and gather specialty. So they're capable of picking stuff up off the ground and also creating bricks in this case. So Trapinch bulldozes and litters and likes lots of dirt, hard stuff, strange stuff, watching stuff, exercise, spicy flavors. I think, given that Trapinch likes a dry habitat and the Colossal family likes a warm habitat, we can probably pair them together, and I think all 4 of them could be pretty happy. So let's begin by focusing on Roly-Coly, and if we can make Roly-Coly happy, we should be able to make that whole line happy, starting with stone stuff and hard stuff being, you know, one and the same, basically. When you look it up on Cerebi, the stone table and bench count for stone stuff, obviously, but also hard stuff. So if I just give them a seating area made of stone, that's already satisfying a lot of the criteria. I gotta be careful, I only have 1 stack of stone left, but today's the day. Today's the day to use this stuff. Because they like metal stuff, they'll accept iron beds. So we're gonna do 1 iron bed, and they'll also accept industrial beds. And since one of these Pokemon is kind of oversized, you know, I think technically by the game's standards, Pokemon of a certain size need the larger beds. We'll go ahead and make them the industrial bed. We can't fit too much in these rooms, and I'm not really building them for aesthetic purposes. I am mostly focused on just comfort for Pokemon. If I worried about making every single room aesthetically really awesome, well, we'd fail. Frankly, yeah, we would just fail. Ooh, however, yeah, so I want a fireplace in all of these. They all like fire, so we need the fireplace. How am I supposed to fit the seating area in here and 2 beds? Okay, well, we know the large bed will work for any Pokemon, so they're all gonna have to share that 1 little bed. Let's stick our door on here and actually make it an official habitat. And I think a couple more items might just take the happiness over the top here. So I'm gonna throw one of these guys in the corner here, right next to our wooden door, and they also like rides. So I thought it would be kind of interesting. In fact, maybe this shouldn't go here for a second. Maybe this would be better in this corner. I thought it'd be interesting to place down a train track and a little mine cart on top of it, because that counts in the category of rides. So this could just be like, I don't know, just for them to like have as a display in their home. I'll just kind of face it like that. I don't know. I think that looks kind of fun. Luckily for us, these can sit on tables, so we can use the space on top of the table for that. What all did I do in here? I feel like I fit a lot of stuff in here, but no, in truth, this is about the same amount of items. And I think the Charizard family is pretty happy. So let's start moving them in here. We can actually just check the Charizard family's happiness to see if I'm right. And it looks like 2 of them are in the great category, and Charmander's feeling awesome. So I wonder why that is. We could probably stand to do a little bit more for them, just to try and move all of them up into the awesome category. But I do think we can get those 3 down there, who are in the nice category, the roly-poly folks, and make them at least move up to great. They all live at train stations, so this will be pretty easy to kind of gather them up. So we'll move you in here. And as we go through this today, I mean, I'll be on the lookout. I think at any moment, we can end up bumping this place up to, you know, level 10. And that's pretty awesome. That's cause for celebration. Looks like Flareon wants to talk to me. We'll be giving you a home here soon, don't worry. Oh, there's just some flower seeds, some nice ones. It's actually kind of nice to get those for if and when I ever feel like decorating with flowers. Look at this, we actually get to use our new mine rail system. Oh my gosh, look, we get to stop at this train station. It's no longer the starting point of a journey. It's just a destination in the entire circuit. And one by one, we can summon all of our roly-poly friends so we can move them into their new homes. I feel a little bit scared because I don't have more than 10 things of honey right now. I could probably find more, you know, just pay attention to flower beds. But yeah, I do need a lot more if I'm going to be summoning Pokemon one at a time. Like, look, Colossal's not home. So, oh my gosh, I have to use another honey. I'm also pretty certain Colossal can't ride on the minecarts, so I'll need to just have you follow me, and we'll have to slowly make our way back. But don't worry, you get to skip ahead. Unless I talk and decide to bring you along, because look how slow this is. It'd be faster to walk. We're almost there. One thing I do want to talk about, since we're on day 29, and I probably won't think about it tomorrow, is the potential, like, future of Crossroads. We're definitely ending the challenge at 30 days, no questions asked. But at some point, I'm probably going to want to come back here and keep working on this place more. This is an awesome island, and I have no intention of just deleting it after this challenge is over. So because a lot of you are kind of new viewers, I thought I would just let you know that if I were to continue building in this place, it would be there's a couple different options I have, basically. All right, they're all moved in. Option 1 would be to just go back to doing single episodes, right? We call it a 60-day challenge, a 90-day challenge, whatever. We just eventually bring it back for season 2, right? And just do more episodes. Before I get to option 2, this is what Trapinch likes. Lots of dirt, hard stuff, strange stuff, watching stuff. So a lot of the same stuff, like the hard stuff, I think will make Trapinch pretty happy. Dry environment, I'm not sure. I don't really have a lot to dry out the environment. Trapinch likes watching stuff, so I'll make like a TV and a mirror, and those should cover that criteria, and I think Trapinch will be pretty happy. Anyway, the second option would be for me to continue recording the series by my lonesome, not uploading every day, and then eventually I would just release some kind of mega video showing you everything I've been up to, and whether I record or I just kind of work on it in silence and then do a tour later on. And option 3, of course, would be live streaming the island, which is where I'm leaning most heavily right now. However, I don't know if I'll do that right away. I'm gonna think for a little while on how I want to approach this. Obviously, after the 30 days, I'm gonna need a little bit of a break. But people have been suggesting, continuing the series, which I'm not gonna do right away, but I did want to let you know where my head was at. Of course, Trapinch isn't home, so there goes another jar of honey. Oh my gosh, moving Pokemon into homes today is something I thought would be like difficult on its own, since I'd have to decorate a whole bunch of houses that were empty. But I forgot about like the material cost of doing this. I shouldn't be too surprised that I would forget something like that. But yeah, nothing can be easy for me. Look at how much time it's taking to get Trapinch moved into a proper home. You should be sprinting here. You should be so excited that you don't have to sleep in a patch of grass anymore. This is why we add stairs, though, to the railroad tracks. They work. Pokemon use them. So the only thing to worry about is Trapinch is going to drop clay. Will these Pokemon gather up that clay and move it all the way over to that community bin? And that is a bit of a wild card. I'm not really sure if they'll do that. The real answer would be to put another community bin like right outside their door here. But as you've seen a number of times, it can get really crowded around these things. So I don't even like this one in this spot. Maybe it makes more sense to just empty this one out and then move it. Having 2 makes even less sense than, blocking our main entrance to this place. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. And this should definitely fill with clay, and whenever they feel like it, the Charmander family and the Roly-Coly family should both be able to go in here and start turning clay into bricks. We have one more apartment in this place to fill with fire types if we want to, but I don't really have any in mind at the moment. I could go out of my way to spawn the rest of the Magmar line or the Reboot line. So yeah, there's some options, but let's focus on some of the lines of Pokemon we do have hanging out here, such as the Eevee family. The first thing we need to do is see what all of these Pokemon may have in common in terms of things they like. They're all gonna like a different habitat in terms of humidity, dryness, things like that. But do they all happen to like one thing? So cleanliness, cute stuff, pretty flowers, watching stuff, sweet flavors. Okay, Jolteon likes cute stuff. Flareon likes cute stuff. Espeon likes cute stuff. Oh my gosh, we're on a roll. Umbreon, cute stuff. Leafeon, cute stuff. And Glaceon, cute stuff. Okay, and Eevee, I assume? Yes. All right, that makes our lives so much easier. We'll need to go up to Cabin Town to get more lumber, but the idea is pretty simple. We're going to make the cute set the primary furniture set in every single apartment. A field trip is also good because we need to go get Smeargle. We're doing a lot of decorating and Smeargle is gonna help us dye all the things. I assume there's gonna be a lot of lumber here waiting for us, but I would be assuming incorrectly. This is empty. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna put 40 logs in here and then we're gonna grab everybody from this line and have them get to work on getting all of these processed for us. All right, they all see it. They all see that there's a problem and they're all working on it. Even though the community bin ran out of logs, and that's my fault, I'm still glad it's there because I was able to pretty easily and quickly get them all on the same task. All right, well, we have our 8 beds for now. I should not be too surprised that I would forget something as crucial as lumber for our second to last episode, the penultimate episode. By the way, for those of you saying I don't have enough flowers around town in any of my towns, what's the point if none of them are going to produce honey, ever? I'm going up to all these different flowers, and not a single one is giving me honey. All right, we got another Tatsugiri here. Oh, look at you lounging. That's awesome. Okay, this isn't a habitat, is it? No. Oh, it would be really nice to put Tatsugiri in one of these habitats so that we can have that space open for the next Tatsugiri, the last one. I'm going to be lazy and move them into this little patch here. So each of these beds is going to get a color that I feel corresponds to the evolution that's going to be staying there. And I think I should just choose probably no accent color because they're barely visible anyway. And I don't have like a lot of paint, so we're gonna do one of these. This will be for Glaceon. You get the point. We're just gonna dye every bed a color. Here they all are, and we just have to do that over and over again for every type of furniture in the cute set that we're gonna use, which is not gonna take forever at all. So yeah, we have Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Glaceon, Leafeon, Umbreon, and Espeon, and then Sylveon is the only Pokemon in this line that's going to get like a fancy two-tone kind of set. That's cool. And now I just go room to room and place all the beds, thus designating where each Pokemon's going to live. And while we continue to wait for our lumber, we need to light up the rooms for everybody except Umbreon, I assume, who likes dark habitats. We just need to run power to all the rooms, and thankfully this is an L-shaped building, so we can easily hide power in all sorts of little nooks and crannies. Already our first power block is on. So yeah, there must be something close by that's powering it, which is nice. So that's in that corner. So we can put one in this corner, and that did turn on. That's good news. And finally, we can hide one up here, and that should make it pretty easy to like place the rest of them just nearby throughout the roof. Like we can just use them in place of the tops of these pillars right here. They connected no problem, and that's probably it. I bet anywhere I put lights now, they'll light up. Now, because a lot of them do like bright habitats, or at least they don't mind bright habitats, I'm gonna go overkill with the lights in here and put 2 in each room, except for Umbreon's room, which there'll be none. And that's just because I want to do my best to make sure they're happy, and I don't know this, but I feel like only 1 light, even if the room only needs to have 1, only using 1 is not gonna create a habitat that is designated as like bright enough. Ooh, there's 1 light so far that is not getting power. Interesting. Actually, that makes sense because I didn't put power in this corner on the lower levels yet. I only focused on like the 1 corner to get power to the roof, and then never moved any to this side. So that's pretty easy. All we gotta do is actually go right down here and pop something right in there, and it works. More lights on the outside of this building is probably not a bad call either. I just don't know exactly what to do yet. I'll try a couple of these and see how I like it. I'm also gonna add boat railing like I said I was gonna do before. I think the side of this building just looks too flat, so that's gonna help. And I grabbed some other lights too, just to give this in here a little bit of a glow. And they're not going to be even, but we can put 1 in each corner. And yeah, that'll give this little hallway area a really nice glow. This is the type of thing you want to see when you're staying at a motel like this. You want to make sure you feel comfortable and safe and that it's well lit. And I think that serves its purpose. I also need to put a wall here. So it's pretty convenient that I had to make that decision just now to, you know, get rid of some wall up here. And I guess we could put a light here, and we'll make a couple more. We'll put 1 over here, and then I'll add a bit of a glow, you know, to this part too. But yeah, what do we think about lights next to each door? Kind of like this. I think that looks pretty good. I'll tell you what, it's better than not having the lights. Yeah, I like that. So 1 more set of these, 6 more of these, and we can go around placing them as needed. I like the soft little glow they have. I like that they add something on the front of each building, or the front of each unit, if you will. I bet this place is gonna look so good at night now. Ah, that's awesome. Okay, well that was a fun little distraction. Let's head back out and see if our lumber's ready. Either it's in this bin, or a bunch of them are gonna start running up to me and giving me lumber. No, I think this is it. I think this is all the 200 pieces we were waiting for. I thought Scissor had more, but we just want to play look this way for a second. All right. I'm not very good at this game. Nope, I didn't get a single one. All right, back to crafting furniture. We're gonna give them 8 cute dressers, 8 cute sofas, and 8 cute chairs. Dyeing these is gonna take forever, so stand by. That was quite the task, but it's done. All right, now it's just time to get everything placed down in each apartment, and I hope that I have the right colored furniture, you know, together with the beds I've already chosen. So this is kind of what I was thinking. Chair, dresser, and then we'd put the couch. So Flareon's easy, everything's red. We'll just kind of put this here. Actually, I'll put it like that. I think for a couch like this, having it in a corner like that makes sense. If we end up putting more stuff in these rooms, we could actually put it in front of the bed too. That's probably not a terrible spot for it, but then you're just kind of watching people walk in the door, and that's a bit weird. So yeah, this is fine. Okay, all the downstairs rooms are done. This is Glaceon's room. Everything looks like it matches. This should be Espion's room. I do like these upstairs rooms a lot, by the way. They all have such a good view. Look at that. We can see Trapinch getting off the train right now. Oh, it's so cool. This is Sylveon's room, and the bed, like the accents didn't work as well, but the rest of the furniture I painted looks so much better. Like, look at the table and the chair together like that. Like, you know exactly who this is for. So I'm glad the color accents worked out on the rest of the furniture. I don't really know why the bed didn't work out the same way. This blue should be just as dark on the bed as it is on the other furniture. I don't get it. But that's it for all the cute items in every room, and I know I need more for each of them, but that is just the easiest way to kind of decorate for this bunch. Just try to find the overlapping thing and make a bunch of it, and hopefully everybody is at least the same amount of happy in each home. Now we have a different problem. I have 7 honey and 8 evolutions to call over. There's always a honey over here for me because of Combi, and it looks like there's one over here, but a couple honey. I'm in trouble. I really wanted to like move everybody in today, and I'm not gonna have enough honey to do it. Well, one by one, we'll get everybody settled in. Vivion's having trouble getting up the stairs here. I'd save the best one for last, and I'm just having so much trouble getting them over here. Here we go. All 8 evolutions are now moved into the motel. Perfect. I expect their happiness levels to jump up from wherever they were. It happens kind of slow sometimes. Sometimes they even go like down a level. So I can check right now to see how close we are to 10, but it might still be a little bit. So the Roly-Coly line plus Trepinch moved up. The evolutions, Leafeon moved down, Vaporeon moved down. That can happen. I kind of expect that. But we're also not quite done messing with their habitats a little bit to make sure that they, you know, have more than just the cute stuff keeping them happy. We got to make sure their environment inside each habitat is also suitable for them. There's only so many things I can do. Like Vaporeon, I can put some water in there for humidity. So I'm not too worried about cases like this or Flareon, but like Jolteon, for example. Yeah, this is where it gets a little more complex. Like everyone's gonna need stuff in there that makes them a little more happy than just, oh, you got me cute things. Cool. I like TV too. Can I have a TV? So yeah, I don't want to call this done yet. I want to do a bit of a crafting spree because I am not going to be able to house every Pokemon that I have today, or at all. But I definitely want to make sure the Pokemon we do house are moving the needle for us. Without doing much research, just off the top of my head, I want to just try to get some Pokemon settled in. So Flareon likes lots of fire. So I made a fireplace, and I also made some of these, you know, fire basins, if you will. I'll put one here, and gosh, I don't really know where I could put another one. Could I put one on top of the fireplace? Yeah, there we go. You said you like lots of fire. This is a strange layout, though. And so not all their layouts have to be exactly the same. Let me just kind of move some stuff around here. Okay, so there we go. The fire is on the fireplace. We'll turn this one on over here. And then I have this other one that we could put by the sofa. And I should probably do more for Flareon than just like creating fire hazards everywhere. But, you know, we're only going to be able to do so much. Yes, a fire pit. You know, it'd be even better if it was on fire. You think you can like handle that? There we go. Vaporeon's going to want humidity, so this is always an easy bet for humidity, and then we can just like throw some water in it, no problem. It'd be nice to figure out if there's like a table and chair that they all like exceptionally like, not just tolerate. And, oh my gosh, they're using the pool. And I was going to say, I don't think I need to overthink it. Maybe I just make all of them wooden tables and chairs, because I need some surfaces to place some more items upon. So, yeah, let's just make them all a little, like, picnic set in their house. Maybe not Flareon, because it's a wooden picnic set and everything's on fire in there, plus there's not a ton of room. But, yeah, for Pokemon like Vaporeon, pretty easy to just throw down, you know, a table and a bench. Some rearranging will have to be done, but we are going to fit this stuff. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. And now I can place a humidifier as well. So this should be very humid for Vaporeon. I'll turn that on for them. Nice. I'm realizing that one of Jolteon's lights isn't turning on. I'm not sure why that is. I thought it was turning on earlier. It's not on now. So that could be a power grid issue, or it could be that I just don't have enough transmitters over here. Let's see if this solves the problem, and it did. Okay, yeah, the last Pokemon you want to have in the dark is Jolteon. We know Jolteon likes electronics, so I made a TV, but there's no great place to hang it, because, yeah, like over the couch, that doesn't make the couch feel very comfortable, but at least you can see it from the bed. You can't put it over the bed, that's just too high. I kind of feel like you just have a monitor on the wall here for, you know, monitoring stock trades or something. And that way, at least, Jolteon has something to look at, but it's not like something you need to pay too much attention to. Glaceon's gonna like colder environments, and I do have some ice blocks left over, which I think would count, actually. So I'll do that. I don't think I have any of those rocks, though, the rocks that make, like, coldness happen. But I do have some large artifacts that we probably need to assess anyway, so maybe we'll get one. If I only manage to get one, though, I should probably give it to Articuno. Ooh, I just happened to come over here and check, and we are almost at level 10. Those 3 evolutions are already very happy. I haven't even done anything for Leafeon other than put a table and chairs in the house. Oh my gosh. We're there. We're just about there. All right, let me get all these appraised. I only had 8 of them. 2 gym emblem statues in a row feels like a scam. I did just get an Avalug table, though, and I think that might count as like a cold item. I'll save that for Articuno, though. We are going to be housing the 3 legendary birds today. Oh, wait. You know, I haven't even given Leafeon the table and chairs yet. We just got that upgrade for their happiness. And I've hardly done anything. That probably means they're all realizing how much better their lives are right now, and I probably shouldn't invest too much time in improving these habitats, you know, much more than we already have, because there's still a ton to do. But while we're here, and because I just got a Rowlet clock, I thought maybe Leafeon would appreciate this. I'm gonna put it, where is a good place for this? Maybe, yeah, I guess just right here. There it is! The environment level increased. It is now level 10. We did it. I'm gonna put a block of ice here as a nightstand. And I don't know where else to put any blocks of ice. I'm just gonna do that. All right. Oh my gosh. It is so good to have this done. We have some new challenges to make us some more money, which is nice. I'm always kind of broke, so that's good. And some more things we can buy, including black and white paint, which is great. Awesome. Oh, all the different Pokemon Center variants too. I forgot we could change the Pokemon Center. Ooh, all right, one of our goals down. And still more to go. Well, I have this plant, and I was going to give it to Leafeon, but I realized I never put a plant in this train station. So sorry, Leafeon. Now that we're environment level 10, I can go back to being selfish. This has been a very long day, and I've not done nearly enough. I said to house all these Pokemon today, and I housed the evolutions. We should probably see about making sure we can get these birds to fit where I want them to fit. So up here in our skyscraper are these penthouse rooms, and I thought this would probably be a good place to house our legendary bird trio, because we can keep them all close together and they get the nicest views in all of Crossroads, let's be real. The thing is, they're all very large. You saw their wingspans. They refuse to put their wings down by their sides, so I assume I'm going to need to make the doors to each of these larger. And even then, I'm not sure they'll be able to, like, actually use these rooms, but that's what we're going to try right now. We'll make 3 more of these doors, and we're just going to deck out one of the rooms, because I don't want to spend all this time decorating all of them only to find out that none of them can actually fit in any of the rooms. So let's start with Moltres. The fire stuff is always pretty easy to remember and find. We just need the fireplace and, you know, just that. The stuff that goes on fire. Yeah. We'll do a couple of these. By the way, I can never find the fireplace on my first try. I also know for a fact that all the legendary Pokemon like luxury items. So let's test this out by going to find Moltres, and then we'll see if they can fit through the door. Focusing on the legendary Pokemon is great, because if you make a legendary Pokemon happy, it increases your environment level tenfold. I don't know the actual math behind it, but it's a lot. It does a lot for them. So if I do anything to mess up my environment level, but the 3 legendary birds remain happy, it'll be kind of difficult for it to, like, go back down a level. Okay, I'm assuming Moltres cannot ride on the mine carts. I wonder... No, you're not going to stand on him? Okay. I wonder if I go underground, will Moltres be like, oh, where'd he go? And then not follow me? Let's see. Do we get the warning while I'm in the tunnel that your Pokemon friend can't follow you? I think we're good. Have to sit here and watch over the horizon. Still no notification popping up. Oh gosh. I was going to say, you don't think Moltres went in the tunnel, do you? Because I haven't expanded this tunnel yet. At least the exit to the tunnel. All right, good. We were followed the entire way. I'm so glad I moved the Eevees in, by the way, because now they're just like wandering around the city and it's feeling a lot more alive already. Okay, so Moltres flew through that tunnel. That's a 3x3 tunnel. The wings did not slow them down. So I have high hopes that as long as we have a double door on these apartments, it won't stop the Pokemon from living there. I think it has to work because, I mean, they can't expect you to just put giant doors like this on every single building when you want to house a Pokemon that's just a bit bigger than, like, you know, your average Eevee. The elevator I'm not worried about. They always, like, have the Pokemon waiting outside the elevator wherever you go. So boom, Moltres is on the penthouse floor, and now, can you fit in here with one door? No, obviously not. So let's punch this out. We'll put them down side by side like that, and then we'll open the door, and now you should be able to walk in. Yes. Oh, perfect. We got our bed, we got our luxury table, and I only made 2 luxury chairs for each one because these are pretty small apartments. Oops! I placed a chair down and it popped Moltres outside. Oh, that stinks. That's not good at all because now I don't know how I'm going to talk to you to get you to move in here. Oh no, they're having trouble following me. Okay, I got to open up the window. Come on in. Please. Oh, good. It worked. Okay. Let me move you in here before I make any more mistakes. Wait, where'd you go? Okay, all right. I'm going to talk to you in Magnet Rise form. Do you want to move in here? This is a disaster. This is not where you're supposed to house Pokemon like this. Okay, good. So Moltres is now moved in and probably already a bit happier. I mean, it's not a patch of grass in a beach area, but nonetheless, I still have a fireplace and I have these as well, which I guess we'll put one there and one on top of the fireplace. And I was trying to get them to like light everything on fire, but they keep phasing in and out of the room. Hey, do you want to... Okay, do I need to be in Ditto form? Do you want to... Hey, you want to light this on fire? Moltres noticed the fire pit when I picked it up and put it back down, but I gotta be honest, I don't think this Pokemon's capable of lighting stuff on fire, ironically. Oh well, look, the good news is everybody will fit in these apartments. By the way, all the luxury furniture is dyeable, and it does look really nice when you dye it. But I'm not gonna do it. I've already put Smeargle through enough, and this is like already a lot of recording I've done for very little output. I guess I never put lights in this building, so let's do that for each room. And of course, we're gonna have power issues. We'll have to solve that in a minute. And this is gonna be the room for Zapdos. Each Pokemon should probably get one of these, but I made two. One for Zapdos, one for Articuno. And we're going to give them an air conditioner. Zapdos likes glass things and electronics, so we'll put a TV here, we'll put a laptop here, and we'll put a cell phone here. Then for Articuno, I found out this counts as lots of water. Oh, also a habitat, I guess. And I think Articuno likes enough, likes the same similar stuff to Zapdos. A wall monitor is not a bad thing to have. I looked this up, so I know that that's a thing. Also, I guess mugs count as symbols, and they all like symbols, so I'm putting a mug right here. An air conditioner above the door, and then cleaning supplies counts as shiny stuff, which Articuno likes. So even if I do nothing else, these homes should be satisfactory for our legendary birds, but there's also some headroom too, some room for improvement if we want to make them even better. I'm gonna go ahead and hide some more power. Oh, that didn't turn on. Great. I think if we put this one here, okay, that definitely worked. I think that means we can get away with putting one kind of near the middle. And that should hit the rest of the lights that aren't currently active. Yeah, okay, it looks like they're powered on. You could tell I'm getting lazier by the day here. I think that one's on. It's gotta be. There's power right here. But all right, I moved Articuno right by the temple, and I'm actually gonna see if they can help me find Zapdos. I have one thing of honey left. So let's use it wisely. Uh-oh, maybe I didn't move Articuno over here? I could have sworn I did. Oh, here we go. And I don't have to use honey. You're right here. Perfect. All right, Articuno's gonna bring us straight to Zapdos. Oh, you're living here. Oh man, I feel kind of bad. This isn't a proper habitat at all. Okay, well they should be able to easily keep up with us because they can fly. Let's bring them home. Here they come. Okay, this is gonna be challenging because I could very easily accidentally kick them out of the building by pushing into them. So let's see, do you want to move in here? Perfect, this is the one. And then Zapdos, do you want to live in here? Excellent. Slowly but surely, the Pokemon who we've moved into homes today are moving up into the awesome category. Their lives, as the day progresses, are continuing to feel like they're really improved, like they're getting better and better. Our legendary birds, like Moltres has already moved up. Zapdos automatically went from homeless to iffy. That makes sense. I think all three of them will be at least in the nice category by the next time we check. So we should not only be max environment level, but we should be like securely max environment level. No reason for us to worry at all about losing a level. So the next thing I wanted to do was use the dowsing machine today, and I said I would, but I also didn't think just housing that many Pokemon, which wasn't many, would take over 2 hours. Headbutt Fossil Body, by the way. Okay, that's good. I'm afraid we're gonna have to save the rest for tomorrow, which is very unwise. There's a lot left to do. But this is gonna have to be one of those challenges where, you know, we put our pencils down and not every goal we set out for ourselves was met. And I don't mean the big goals, I'm talking about just the little things too. Stuff like this, you know? I've been meaning to do that forever. We didn't even intentionally invite new Pokemon today. We don't have our 150 yet. But this has still been a very successful day, and tomorrow we scramble to finish as many of our outstanding goals as possible. If that video is ready, it's on the screen right over there, so go check it out, and I'll see you over there for day 30.